Welcome back. So in the previous video, we were able to build this simple carousel. I know it's a little bit not as good as the one which I showed you. And why is that so? Okay, because the thing is because we just use the left kind of pointed bracket here and we should use this one. Whenever it comes to carousel, we should use this one, this different one. So, what do we have here? This is the URL encoding. Of course, I could not remember it in the previous video, so I kind of reverted it, but that is fine. Now I figured it out, and that's how you can search it on Google as well. So, yeah, you can search for any entity, any character code that you want. So it turns out it has an HTML character code of this one. So in this video, what we are trying to do is we are trying to finalize our section, container section, right? This is the one, and the only thing that's remaining here, if you see here, there's a major thing that is missing. Padding. Yes, we did not provide any padding to this. Um Without padding, it's kind of stick to the left and right and all these things. So let's provide it a padding of 16 pixels. That should be fine. And now let's see. Beautiful. Now it works. It's so perfect. And we have to change this one as well. So what I'm going to do is this one should be somewhat similar, somewhat close by. Let's search for this. Just a second. Yeah. What's the HTML code for this one? This is 10095. The previous one was 10094 and 95. That's just the next one. And that's it. We are done with this. Perfect. Now there are two things remaining. One is the background vector, and second is auto transition. We'll work on the vector after that, but first let's add some auto transitions. Adding the auto transitions is going to be very, very simple, and you have already done that before. You know that, right? When did you do that? Remember in the challenge that I gave you to add some automatic transitions to those colors in USpring. Do you remember that? USpring or use transition, whatever that was. But yeah, the thing is going to be the same. So inside my use transition or use effect, what I'm going to do is as soon as the component mounts on the screen for the first time, as soon as it happens, we are going to set our interval. Set interval. With the set interval, we are every, let's say 4 second or 5 second, 5 seconds should be fine. Every 5 seconds, we are going to define our set active index, and that is going to, we are going to use it as a functional kind of set state, and we are going to provide a function active. Inside that, we are just going to say active plus 1 modulo active dot length, slides dot length, slides dot length. That's it. And now let's have some cleanup as well. Return cleanup function, clear interval. That's it, interval. Perfect. So now if you see every 5 seconds, it will start running on its own. 0, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, exactly at 5 seconds. It works perfectly, perfectly. Absolutely perfectly. And now finally, let's add our vector component. So in the assets that I gave you at the start, you see there is a vector component as well. So I'm going to use that same vector, actually the second one, not the first one. The first one you can completely ignore or delete from your machine as well because it's just something that I was trying before. The second one looked better. And just to tell you where did I take it from, this was taken from a website called pixabay.com/vectors, and I really appreciate them having copyright-free vector images. Cool. So what I'm trying to do is I am going to import my vector, import vector image from dot slash dot dot slash dot dot slash assets slash vector2.webp. It's a WebP file. Perfect. Now let's add our vector frame towards the end of it. So just to tell you, it will not be inside any of our button or slides. It will be a separate component which we are going to manually position behind the slides. So usually what people can do here is keep it inside the slides and maybe have a Z index, or I usually prefer having it separately. That's why you remember we positioned the carousel container as relative. So now the position of this, the next thing that you can add can be relative to the absolute carousel container. Perfect. We are very close to our final app. Vector frame. That's it. Vector frame. I'm going to provide an image with source equal to our vector image, and in alt we can just style vector or something, and the class name we can set it as the vector image or vector something like that. Vector. That's it. And now here I'm going to set the styles for, first of all, vector frame. So my vector frame is going to be positioned absolute. So when I position absolute, it will be absolute in terms of the relative parent. So we need to turn the position of the parent as relative as well. And z index will be 0 because we need to set it behind. Right will be minus 12%. This is just some random values which I figured, which I played around with and saw it worked. It might not work on small screens, it might not work on mobile screens. You'll have to play it around, you will have to find the numbers. That is your homework. That is a manual work which the front-end developers have to do sometimes, which is fine. And for the vector itself, what I'm going to do is display block with a max height of 100 pixels, not 100 pixels, 100% actually, and max width of 100% as well. And that's it. We are done. See how beautiful it looks. So, so, so beautiful. And now there's only one thing remaining, actually two things. We need to add three more sections like this, all of them with different transitions, and we need to actually make this carousel a little bit more customizable, because as you see right now we have provided some default styles to it. Maybe if we can somehow customize those styles outside this so that we can reuse this component. Try it out. This is your homework. See you in the next video. Bye bye.